I have more thoughts about the Laken Snelling case. Firstly, I do not condone this behavior. She was arrested for having a baby and then stuffing it in her closet and cleaning up after it. But there may be more charges once they actually do the autopsy. However, our system really lacks proper education for these kids, especially young kids, who can get into situations like these and not know how to handle them. Everyone should be educated on where to get an abortion in their state, how much it costs, everything like that, and also the new rules when it comes to it. But they vote on what they put in schools versus what they don't. And a lot of schools do not touch on it enough or at all. I personally came from the Midwest, and I do not remember them really touching on it much. I was never taught where to get one. Thankfully, I never needed one. However, if I was Laken and in her age, I would have been so scared because when you're in college, and she was like 21, I believe, she was a senior. I'm just thinking of when I was that age, and I honestly felt like even though I was technically an adult, I did not feel like an adult at that age. If that happened to me, I would have been so scared and probably just went to the doctor. But you never know because there's so many emotions going on and you just had a baby. There's a lot of people who have like postpartum issues as well. So maybe it's like a mental health issue tied to it, like the actual birth. If not, maybe it's another mental health issue too. However, when it comes to birth, there's a million things that can go wrong. So that is why we need to keep access there, which is really sad that Roe got overturned because it is a necessary thing. My sister almost died from IVF, and I think that's a huge thing to go through, and that is why I will always fight for it. I would go to war for my sister, and I have never even had an abortion, but I'm so glad I never did because I wouldn't have known what to do. But also another thing, I also have an irregular cycle, so how on earth would even the rules work in general? For example, if I lived in a state like Florida, I would be SOL. Thank goodness I moved to North Carolina. But also in regards to my sister's IVF issue, because it did happen after Roe was overturned, I am so glad that she did not live in Wisconsin where I grew up because she may have died with their terrible restrictions that it went back to from like the 1920s. I'm terrified to be a woman in this country and have kids here one day. It's not even on my mind right now. I could keep talking about this for ages because it really makes me upset. And I think it's sad to see that some of the smartest people vote against it. Even if you don't believe in it yourself, it doesn't matter because I guarantee there's a case where you would be like, oh, this person deserves to make that choice for themselves or their doctors.